recommendation. Jim is a young man of intelligence, compassion, and humor. His willingness to take on a TC3, got it. Freshman writing at Cornell, got it. He was on the ACS mock trial team for 4 years. He was a TA for the Facing History class all year, skillfully correcting hundreds of student papers and evaluating dozens of academic performances. Jim has been a visible presence in the ACS community, where he can count on to use his humor to skillfully lead meetings and MC events. But Jim is not driven to be the center of attention or to be an academic success. Jim truly wants to help make things better, be it helping to create community and empowering fellow students at ACS, building lasting friendships and caring connections, giving back to the Facing History class, counseling for suicide prevention and crisis hotline, performing with community role players, or talking with customers at Gimme about why he fasts and donates the money to Oxfam. Jim has a righteous streak that is well hidden, but which runs deep. This funny, easygoing, and chill young man, this man of intelligence, compassion, and humor, is going to do a little something to make the world a better place. He'll begin by studying foreign policy at Evergreen College in September. Jim, thank you for helping to make ACS the caring community that we strive to be. Three more dictionary definitions. Creativity, characterized by originality and expressiveness. Discipline, training that produces moral or mental improvement. Service, work done for others. We start with creativity. In October of 2001, I was cleaning out my room, came across a packet of papers labeled confidential. Union High School's guidance department. I immediately, of course, opened it up. And flipping through, there were school photos and transcripts and information and little notes in the passages. And it was a progress report on the school's behavioral adjustment program. And it took me quite a while before I realized that this was your homework assignment for Facing History, where you had to demonstrate your understanding of the culture of fascism. Creativity. Scroll back to 9th grade. Amelia was the youngest student in the high school photography class, but by February she completed an exquisite book integrating poetry, drawing, text, and beautiful photos. That summer she studied photography at Bennington College. She began working with video in 10th grade and was soon accepted to the prestigious New York State Summer School of Media Arts, where you went to study filmmaking at Casanova College, and then the following year at Purchase. Amelia's talent was further recognized when the Alliance for Media Literate America selected her as one of 20 youth media makers from around the country. She was brought to the National Media Education Conference last June in Baltimore, where she co-produced a nationally broadcast video that lampooned the corporate advertising campaigns of AOL, the corporate sponsor of the conference. And finally, there's Amelia's senior project that you saw, I hope, outside. Individual portraits of nearly every senior here. That project represents not only extraordinary creativity, but also very hard and disciplined work. Discipline. Amelia's discipline goes beyond media production. She completed all the Spanish offerings at ACS before taking 3 semesters at TC3, then the Spanish Language Institute of Cuernavaca, Mexico. She plays the fiddle, the viola. She studies many forms of dance. And Amelia is an accomplished creative writer. And then there's service. Amelia completed nearly 200 hours of community service, including 2 years with the Youth Bureau's Big Sister, Little Sister program. She's TA'd numerous classes at ACS, co-taught a video project for middle school girls, and she's been a Dartmouth lab assistant for 2 years running. Amelia once wrote this: Quote, when I first came to ACS, I was amazed by all of the individuals, the unique creators, learners, and artists, all working under one roof. I told myself I would make it my personal goal to become one of those outstanding individuals, not just someone who graduates well-educated and informed, but someone who shapes their identity and follows through with their passions, and in return can give their personal skills and knowledge back to the community. From New England, you have become that graduate and then some. The Museum School in Boston doesn't know how lucky it is to be giving you next year. Congratulations.
A catalyst is an agent that provokes or speeds significant change or action, and that would be Ben Ribbonsville. Ever since Ben arrived at ACS 4 years ago, he has been a catalyst, steadily, quietly working for social justice. In fact, he uses every bit of his knowledge and talents toward that end, and I'll mention just a few of the ways that he has worked toward creating a more just society. Academically, Ben has taken some challenging courses, including facing history and U.S. foreign policy. His teachers consistently mention his commitment to learning, his keen academic ability, his clever wit, and the excellent work he did. In addition to his ACS coursework, he also participated in Cornell University's sophomore honors program in political philosophy and has taken a number of other courses at TC3. All this coursework has been done in-depth studies in a number of areas. But for Ben, the main point of this work is to gain understanding of how to approach difficult political issues. Ben has also accomplished a lot in the creative arts, especially in developing skills in photography, digital art, and web design. Here too, Ben uses these skills for social justice. He's designed web pages for KUSLAR and Ithaca Fair Trade Coalition, and he is the webmaster for New Yorkers for Dennis Kucinich. His own website, the Catalyzer Journal, has been up and running for more than 2 years. It is his senior project, and it is one of my favorite sources for art, politics, and news commentary. It's not only a helpful resource, but a hopeful one, and shows how the internet can be used as a force for democracy. I'd highly recommend that you all bookmark it and check it daily. Another area of in-depth work and a crucial aspect of Ben's education has been community service. He's contributed countless hours to everything from licking envelopes to building garden beds to working with small children to creating web pages. He served 2 years on the Habitat for Humanity trip and also participated in the community service class that culminated in a trip to the Akwesasne Freedom School. Through these experiences, he grappled with questions about the true meaning of service and how to use service as a force for change. I want to quote you here, Ben. Here's what you said. How can I, a white privileged male, gain understanding of another culture or class and help people of this group without being patronizing? I found your answer to your question deeply thoughtful when you said, I learned that there will always be a certain awkwardness and that this awkwardness is healthy. The best thing that can be done is to understand the conditions that resulted in such awkward differences and to try to gain understanding to the degree that understanding can be gained. Those are very wise words, Ben. From here you will be going to Oberlin College where you will continue to use words and art to promote social justice. Congratulations. aspects of working at ACS is family group, and I have had the great and gratifying pleasure of working with Dakota for the 4 years he has been at ACS. We connected immediately, and I know that I've made a lifelong friend. Here since 9th grade, he's accomplished so much and has completed in-depth studies in several areas. He's taken courses like calculus and physics, and he was a teaching assistant for IRA in historical development. He excels at writing and helped edit a collection of writings of fellow students in John Raymond's class, I Know Some Things. His teachers have deeply appreciated his enthusiasm for learning and his thoughtful work. But speaking of Dakota's academic achievements alone does not do justice to what he brought to ACS. For example, there is also Dakota's community service. As John Raymond said, I have seldom witnessed someone commit himself so fully to service. At a senior meeting, Dakota made this characteristically insightful statement. I was amazed at how many opportunities jump out at you once you open yourself to it. For him, service is a way of life, and it is inextricably intertwined with anti-bias work. At the Multicultural Resource Center, he has been working closely with Audrey Cooper, and at the Food Bank of the Southern Tier with Britt Holmberg. And perhaps you've heard some of his public service announcements aimed at ending the cycle of oppression on local radio stations. He made himself available for nearly every opportunity that presented itself through the community service class, which included a trip to the Akwesasne Freedom School. His senior project is one that has great meaning for many of us in the ACS community, a bike path that will connect ACS to local parks and the downtown area. He has been working with Jonathan Panzer for 2 years on this, a project that involved grant writing, meeting with Common Council, working with civil engineers and property owners. With a little luck, that project will reach completion next fall. Still, this doesn't get to what I admire most about Dakota. What I admire about you is the way you live your life. By example, you show us what it means to pursue peace. You are one of the most generous, kind-hearted people I know, and you have a smile as big as the sun itself. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, everyone can be great because anyone can serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Next year, you will postpone your own college education to continue service through AmeriCorps. You'll be working in Cincinnati, Ohio in a reading program with low-income elementary school children. I know that wherever you go, on whatever path life takes you, serving others will be at the core of what you do. Congratulations.
I present to you Dr. Dave Lehman. The year alternative education changed. That was the year a man named Dr. Dave rode into town in a beige Dodge Dart or something like that, with fancy ideas about education and the democratic decision-making process, with the idea that students were able to meet the demands of an ever-changing world through experiential learning rather than standardized tests. From a school of 65 students to the ACS of today with 260-ish, Dave's dedication to staff, students, parent caregivers, the alternative education community, and the greater world has remained the same. Likewise, Dave has gained strength from the support of his ACS family. Not your ordinary sit-at-the-desk principal, Dave has been involved with many things both inside and outside the school building. A sampling of these include teaching a course almost every year, which Maggie Goldsmith says allowed him to stay closer and more accessible to his staff. Becoming a highly sought-after consultant to other alternative schools in the United States. Completing the 100-mile Hayes Ride for Life. Rocking the house at Fall Retreat. And again, a special concert this year, and people will listen to that CD. And having a strong belief in peace throughout the world and within himself, which has led others to gravitate towards a strong sense of humanity. What does all this work add up to? Well, 946,080,000 seconds, or 15,768,000 minutes, or 262,800 hours, or 10,950 days, or 1,560 weeks, or 360 months, or 30 years. And that's 30 years above and beyond the call of duty. And for that, the ACS community of the past, present, and future are forever grateful.
invite all the seniors as we close here to thank all of these folks for being here tonight and hanging in here for a couple hours. Really did a great job. Let's thank them. I need to also make one last thank you, which is Judy, my wife, Judy.
We decided that the students should say something too. There's nothing that we could say that could sum up what you've done, Dr. Dave. You have been such an amazing revolutionary leader in alternative education.
You've changed so many lives in your career. There's nothing we can say that would do you justice except thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
From all the members of the ACS community, thank you.
So in closing, I ask you seniors to not only remember what Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world, but to act on that, to live it. Our world needs you guys. Godspeed. Go in peace, class of 2004. You now are officially high school graduates.